Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Chris, and I'm here to talk about the Arizona Cardinal offense. The Cardinals are undefeated as of our recording this. The defense has improved. Not gonna lie, it's definitely better, but the story and the attention is really on that offense that scored 35 points per game through 4 games. That's a lot of points. So we thought we'd break down what we've seen on film so far from the Cardinal offense, maybe what's different this year, maybe what's the same this year, and maybe what we'll talk about also whether it's sustainable. So we'll start out just by refreshing ourselves with air raid concepts, showing you an example from Sunday's win over the Rams. This is the most stereotyped version of Cliff Kingsbury's offense, and the Cardinals do run this more than anyone else in the league. This is 5 receivers and an empty backfield, not a lot of pretense of establishing the run out of a formation like this. And as you'll see here, the Rams rush 4, they don't get pressure, and AJ Green just wins against man coverage down the field. But what's that, you say? Kingsbury isn't actually running the air raid as we know it from college? Well, yes, that's true. Here's a variation the Cardinals use when they're still in 4 wide, a double stack of receivers on each side, and note the very tight splits, as opposed to the more typical air raid spread. A single back in the backfield who will serve as an outlet, and the tight splits allow the Rams to comfortably play 2 deep safeties to protect against any deep shenanigans, though watch number 4, Rams safety Jordan Fuller, watch him get confused at the snap and vacate his zone, and there he goes, accidentally double-teaming Rondale Moore on the outside. It's a blown coverage. Easy money to DeAndre Hopkins. Here the Cardinals are in trips right, with DeAndre Hopkins singled up on the left, and as is the case with so many spread concepts, the idea is like, let's baffle them with BS and show a bunch of noise and then see if you can hit something else down the field. And on this one, Hopkins does beat Jalen Ramsey, unfortunately. Kyler Murray didn't make a good throw, but formationally you understand what they're going for. And here's trips right with a wider split. And you see the plan is to fake the wide receiver screen to one side, baffle him, right? And then look down the field to the left side. The Rams' deep safety hasn't bitten in this case, so Murray doesn't throw it, and it turns into a scramble drill and an improvised catch in the middle of the field. So those are just some sample basic formations. Let's not spend too much time belaboring, like, what is the air raid, right? I think largely by now we know what it is. It's shotgun, it's 4 wide, it's 1 running back, sometimes in the backfield, sometimes not, putting a lot on the quarterback's shoulders to diagnose defenses, make good decisions, and push the ball down the field when possible. Cliff Kingsbury coached Patrick Mahomes in college. Had you not heard that before? It's true. And you can see he came into the NFL with Kyler Murray in 2019 and really went whole hog with like full pedal down as much as he could. Now, in 2020, the Cardinals decreased the percentage of pure air raid stuff that they ran. They had an okay offensive season, but nothing like this year. Yet, as you can see, in 2021, Kingsbury hasn't deviated from 2020 in terms of how often he's used 4 wide. Now, I also think you know that a lot of the NFL has moved away from spread concepts that were probably more popular a few years ago. Everyone throws a ton, but you're seeing a lot of this. Heavier formations, sometimes tighter splits, and designed rollouts sometimes, or bootlegs, meant to limit the amount of deciding that a quarterback has to do. Jared Goff, this is him from when he was with the Rams, they wanted to give him designed reads as much as possible. The 49ers, another example, they don't roll Jimmy Garoppolo all that much, but they've decided to kind of foolproof their offense as much as possible by short stuff, creating a massive playbook of screens and quick hitters, get the ball in the playmaker's hand, let him run, and you probably understand that the reason Trey Lance is in San Francisco now and that Goff is in Detroit is, when things get off script for quarterbacks like this, they aren't as good. But not everybody plays it that way these days. There's this guy up in Buffalo who in year 3 of his career suddenly got into a scheme that suited him, shotgun all the time, maybe not quite as much spread as Arizona, but an awful lot of spread, and he suddenly became an accurate downfield passer when he could be looking at the defensive backfield and never turning his back to the defense. That Josh Allen guy, not too bad. And that aforementioned Mahomes guy, I hear he's pretty good too. And again, the Chiefs don't run air raid concepts as much as the Cardinals, but the point is when quarterbacks can handle more and you give it to them, the results can be some of the best offenses in the league. So after the break, let's talk about why things have been better so far for the Cardinals in 2021. Hey, DraftKings Sportsbook sponsoring today. They're an official sports betting partner of the NFL. They have a Week 5 offer that maybe you should give it a shot. New customers can bet just $1 on any NFL game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores a point. The last 0-0 tie in the NFL was in 1943, so I would say someone is going to score a point. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, DraftKings won't leave you empty-handed. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings DFS contests. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code HarrisTube. Throw down $1 on any NFL game and win $100 in free bets if either NFL team scores a point in your game. That's promo code HarrisTube this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, so I actually don't see a giant change in the way Arizona is deploying its offense. Formationally, they look pretty much like they looked last year. 2020 looked different from 2019, but 2021 seeming pretty similar so far, at least through 4 games, to 2020. But the results have been better, so what's different? I mean, this is boring, but, we always want things to be about genius and scheme. I think part of this is just the supporting cast is better. Rookie Rondale Moore, significantly better than Andy Isabella, a dangerous open field player. Send him in motion. He's largely been kind of a gadget player. He has 1 long touchdown on a blown coverage in week 2, but in the open field, Rondale Moore is dangerous and demands defensive attention. And early in this video, we showed you that long touchdown run from A.J. Green from Sunday. Green isn't prime A.J. Green anymore, but even if he's like just a downfield jump ball artist, it's starting to look like he's better than end-of-career Larry Fitzgerald, who Murray had to deal with as his number 2 receiver last year. Maybe we didn't see it coming. Maybe it doesn't seem like the most sustainable thing, but Green has got singled up looks like this one here, and we have to admit, I didn't expect it either, but he has made teams pay for treating him like that so far in 2021. And sure, was Christian Kirk in Arizona last year? He was, but with Fitzgerald also there and Isabella playing, Kirk ran 12% of his routes from the slot. This year, he's run 95 of his 105 routes from the slot and made plays like this from the slot. Why does that matter? Kirk is fast enough to play outside. It's turning out that he's crafty enough to be a super reliable target against zone. Over and over in this game against Jacksonville, Murray just took the easy money with Christian Kirk finding spots in the zone defense, settling down or running to open space, and just having great chemistry with the quarterback. That's been a difference, having that reliable outlet from the inside, from the slot this year compared to Fitzgerald last year. Now, okay, one obvious issue with spread attacks or air raid attacks, whatever you want to call them, it's pretty instinctive. Extra pressure busts pipes, as they say. If you're spread out and your blocking isn't dead on, you get extra pressure. Teams sent 5 or more, a ton against Kyler Murray in 2020. And of course, he can hurt you bad with his legs if you don't get to him, but his actual throwing led folks to believe coming into this season that it was too much and that the Cliff Kingsbury attack wasn't going to hold up under the blitz and therefore couldn't last in the NFL. And I don't know, maybe it can't. It's asking a lot of a quarterback, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But through about a quarter of the 2021 season, Murray has avoided the big negatives when he's gotten blitzed. He's allowed the Cardinals coaching staff to stay aggressive and creative when they've been blitzed. The results are just better when they've been blitzed. On this one from Sunday, the Rams aren't really disguising it. Count the down linemen here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the back is going to motion out. It'll be 5 blockers for 5 men. And Murray had better react quick and better make a good read. And as you can see, pressure comes, and Murray handles it not with his legs, but with his brain. He gets the ball out quick. This one, a more typical 4-down lineman, but a middle linebacker. Pre-snap, sure looks like he's coming, and he does. And Murray handles this one with his feet, escapes as really only he and a few other quarterbacks can, and turns it into a positive play. And what happens on a 4th and 5 when the Vikings a couple of weeks ago wound up sending 6 guys? Well, sometimes you're just a freak, and you handle it by running backwards and somehow throwing the ball 50 yards in the air and making what turned out to be the game-winning play. And honestly, I think sometimes we try and make this all more complicated than it is. 4 weeks in, Kyler Murray has just been more accurate throwing the ball. This deep over route, the receiver's covered. I'm not sure I love the read, frankly. There's basically 2 square feet where that ball can be if it's going to get caught, and it's right there. I mean, that makes me think of the kind of leap that Josh Allen made last year. Murray had bouts of great accuracy in his first couple of seasons, but this has been more consistent in 2021. And Murray actually has a low percentage of targets aimed into tight windows so far this year. He's been smart about where to go with the ball. His blocking has been better. Remember, they signed Rodney Hudson to play center. That's made a difference. And Murray has certainly many accurate throws on his tape from previous years, but yeah, this was nice. And listen, he's always had nonsense like this. 5 verticals. The Titans just bring heat. And he runs around. He does Kyler Murray things, running around, somehow completing a pass. Fewer mistakes. The same number of these plays has turned out to be quite a winning formula. And none of this is really accounting yet for DeAndre Hopkins, who just hasn't gone off among the ball being spread out and the offense scoring so many points. And him being banged up, for sure, but run around a little more, find Hopkins in the ends. These are just Kyler-style plays. It's been a prolific beginning to the year, up there with some of the great offenses since the turn of the century. But let's also be honest. Part of the reason the Cardinals went spread less toward the end of last year, and part of why they went from 6-3 to 8-8 last year, was Kyler Murray got banged up. He played through a sprained AC joint in his shoulder. He hurt his leg in Week 16 against the Rams. He got hit top 5 most of any quarterback in the league last year, and that's real. That's a real issue that a shotgun-only, spread-them-out quarterback is going to face, and Murray very well could face it again in 2021. And it's something to worry about. Murray could be making the sort of leap in his spread attack in year 3 that Josh Allen made last year. But remember, Josh Allen can take the punishment a lot better than Kyler Murray can. He's just a lot bigger, and there's a worry about Kyler Murray in this kind of attack wearing down over the course of a season, but through 4 weeks, he's probably the NFL MVP. Now, if the Cardinals against the Vikings, the Vikings had made a pretty easy field goal, they wouldn't be undefeated. Maybe we wouldn't be oohing and eyeing quite so much, but 35 points a game is a lot, and I don't see a reason schematically why it wouldn't keep up, and Kyler Murray himself, why he would suddenly play worse. He's been great. Only worry is this kind of attack requires a lot from a quarterback, not just mentally making sure you don't make mistakes, but also physically. No matter what in this kind of attack, he's going to get hit a lot, and we just have to hope that he can make it through a full season. We thank you very much for watching, and we hope you'll leave a comment and maybe subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button, and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.